Welcome back to Scotty Movies, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the movie that won the Best Picture Oscar in the Academy Awards for the 1988 film. Again, I am redoing the Oscars from my standpoint. What deserves the best awards in all of those categories, uh, eliminating campaigning and um, marketing and all those types of things, and just going for the performances. So whether or not this movie wins that award will come later. But this movie is called Rain Man. It's a movie that makes you think. It's a movie that makes you feel, and sometimes uh, it will grab your attention and will not let you get away from it. It is that kind of movie. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it changes the way that you see the world, or it did for those in 1988. We'll talk about why that is here in just a second. But let's talk about the synopsis. What is Rain Man about? It is a story about two brothers. One self-absorbed car salesman, the other an autistic savant. They go on a cross-country road trip that neither of them wanted, but that both of them needed. Charlie Babbitt is that hotshot car dealer who discovers after his estranged father's death that he has an older brother named Raymond, and that Raymond has inherited the fortune that Charlie expected to get from his father. So Charlie does what Charlie does. He tries to get what he thinks he's owed. But along the way, something shifts. What starts as a scheme turns into a relationship. And what starts as frustration slowly becomes compassion. Um, Again, I will start with the two performances. This movie is really about the two brothers. There's Valeria Golino plays Tom Cruise's girlfriend, but she's probably only in it for um, a quarter of the movie. She leaves at some point, comes back at another point. But this movie is about the two brothers. So let's just call it like it is. Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man gives one of the greatest performances maybe ever. This isn't the kind of role that you can fake, at least not the way that he does it. There are several movies where an actor is playing a mentally challenged person, and a lot of times that actor drips down into um, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, he dips into caricature. Um, Dustin Hoffman doesn't do that. He doesn't go for that sympathy or for the grand old statements of what you think that this perspective looks like. He did research. He went into autistic people's homes and people in hospitals that were dealing with autism, and he learned the way that they spoke and the way that they acted, and he became an autistic person in this movie. He builds this character inward, building from quiet, consistent detail. The rituals, the patterns, the flat effect, all of it is authentic. It's lived in. It's deeply respectful. That's the magic of it. Raymond isn't some inspirational mascot or some tragic case study. He's a person. And Dustin Hoffman plays him with the kind of dignity that's really rare in mainstream Hollywood, either then or now. Uh, there are moments in this film that you really feel for him as a person, and you have to catch yourself saying, "Oh my gosh, this is Dustin Hoffman playing this." I thought I was seeing a real person there for a little while because he is so good at it. When a smoke alarm, fire alarm goes off in Tom Cruise's uh, or in the hotel room they're in. I can't remember exactly where they are at this point in the story, but the way that it affects Hoffman's character is so excruciatingly impactful. Um, he and then when he gets into his element of understanding how math works and counting cards in Vegas, the way that you see the wheels turning in his head is so different. You see it actually happen. Uh, you see the different sides of this character, of this person, and you really respect him. You grow with Tom Cruise's character, who we'll talk about in just a second, as you grow in his frustration at first of the routines and needing to watch all the TV shows at various times. You grow frustrated with that at first, and then with his character, you grow to love Raymond. People always talk about Dustin Hoffman for this movie, but and they really should. But let's not overlook how crucial Tom Cruise is to making this movie work. Charlie starts the story off as a jerk. He takes a risk. He sheds his good actor, good guy image to be a real asshole. Uh, he's arrogant, he's impatient, he's shallow, and he really leans into that. No apologies, but as the film unfolds, we start to see something else peek through. The confusion, the guilt, the growth, the shift from user to brother isn't necessarily smooth. It maybe happens a little bit too quickly in the movie near the end, but Tom Cruise sells that arc with real vulnerability. He's not just along for the ride; he's us as the audience. He's taking us along for the ride. We're the people through which or he is the person through which we see as the audience this movie, figuring it out in real time, and that's a really important character. Um, the script by Barry Morrow and Ronald Bass could have easily slipped into melodrama. It doesn't. It walks a really delicate line, finding humor in the situation without engaging in mockery, emotion without sentimentality. Scenes like Raymond refusing to fly unless it's on Qantas Airlines, which is in Australia, or insisting on watching Judge Wapner at 4 p.m. They're funny, but they're not at Raymond's expense. The comedy comes from Charlie's reactions, from his slow realization that he's in way over his head emotionally. Barry Levinson directs this movie with restraint. He never oversells a moment. He never goes for easy drama. Instead, he lets the story breathe. The Vegas card counting scene is really slick. I've talked about it before. The bathtub memory scene where Raymond remembers something from their childhood when it turns on the water and reacts in such a surprising and traumatic way. It's gut wrenching. The ending is quietly perfect. Here's where Rain Man becomes more than just a good movie. It becomes an important one. The impact that this movie had. Back in 1988, believe it or not, most people didn't even know what autism was. When a nurse in the movie asks, wait a minute, what's autism? A nurse. She asks that. It's not just a line to give the movie the impact that you think it deserves. It was the cultural reality. Doctors knew what it was, sure, but even nurses or even those who were on the periphery of medical technology didn't really know. Suddenly, this film, Rain Man, brought autism to the forefront. But more importantly, it didn't reduce Raymond to a diagnosis. It didn't make him a problem to be solved, or autism or autistic people, this problem that needs to be solved. He's not fixed by the end. He was never broken. That's not what this movie is about. It's not about getting autism cured or anything like that. Or it's the one who changes is Charlie, not Raymond. And by extension, so do we as the viewers of watching this movie and understanding the person behind the autism and how human these people are, how deserving they are of love and respect. You don't walk away from Rain Man talking about the cinematography or the music. It's kind of the point. Everything here is in service to the characters. Hans Zimmer's score, the uh, the characters that are in this movie. It's the sound of the open road. It's gentle. It's emotional when it needs to be. The film's visual style is simple. It's not flashy. It doesn't have any tricks or filters. It's just honest storytelling. And sometimes that's the most powerful approach of all when you're talking about a human brothers here, human characters, humanistic kind of movie. My final thoughts for Rain Man. It's more than just a road movie, and it's more than just a character study. It's a film about connection, about learning to see people for who they really are and not what they can do for you. It's funny, it's heartbreaking, above all, it's honest. Dustin Hoffman gives the performance of the decade. Tom Cruise delivers one of his most underrated performances. And the story, despite a slightly rushed emotional arc there at the end, is one of the most quietly revolutionary scripts to come out of 80s Hollywood. So, what grade will I give Rain Man? I'm going to give it a solid A. It's nearly flawless, deeply moving, still relevant all these years later. Um, have you seen Rain Man? Do you agree with me that it brought some of the humanity of a disease or a condition uh, into the forefront? It really brought how to see a person through the disease, how to see the human within him. What movie changed the way that you see someone? What performance stopped you in your tracks the way that Dustin Hoffman's does here? Uh, Tell me about it. Link it in the comments. If it's been a while since you've seen Rain Man, revisit it. It's a great movie. Not because it's important, not because it's classic, not because it won the Best Picture Oscar, but because it's really that good and it's that impactful. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time for another film that maybe, just maybe, makes us better people. Thanks, everyone.